Hey y'all, and welcome back. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been rocking with me for a while, thank you so much. I hope that this video can inspire you to take action, bless you with some knowledge, or help you to just simply learn. So if you're in the research stage of relocating or starting a new beginning while you're on a single mother's journey. You all commented two questions that I want to go ahead and answer in this video. And I think I'm going to start doing this. So if you all have questions, just drop them below the videos and I'll start answering them in another video. And that'll also help me to be more consistent with content because I'll have something to talk about. So the first question I want to answer is, how do I find an apartment locator? I'm assuming that you want to find an apartment locator because, maybe you need a second chance apartment because you've had some credit issues in the past, whether you have a broken lease or not the best credit or an eviction or whatever the case may be. You're looking for an apartment locator so that they can point you in the right direction of a second chance apartment. Or you may simply be looking for an apartment locator because you're relocating to a new city or state, and an apartment locator will make the process a little bit smoother and easier for you when it comes to finding a place. An apartment locator is just a real estate agent who specializes in locating an apartment. So you can find an apartment locator through Facebook. You can find an apartment locator through Google. You can simply Google the city and state you're looking to move to along with apartment locators. So for an example, you can Google apartment locators in Dallas, Texas, or apartment locators in Atlanta, Georgia, apartment locators in Birmingham, Alabama. So Google will show you all the apartment locators. Well, not all, but Google will show you apartment locators that's listed in SEO on Google. And then you can call and ask them your questions, or you can simply send them an email. I know here where I am, we actually have apartment locator offices. So there are offices that have real estate agents that are apartment locators, and you can set an appointment to go in and speak with someone. And they'll also take you around and show you the different type of apartments that they have based on your current situation. Now, when I relocated back in 2018, Craigslist was still popular, so I found an apartment locator on Craigslist. And I really didn't even know that it was an apartment locator. Their ad just said second chance apartments, broken leases welcome, evictions welcome, bad credit welcome. I commented on that ad, and it was actually a real estate agent or an apartment locator. And I never even spoke with them. I emailed them back and forth. I told them my situation, and they was like, okay, well, I know a place that will work with your situation. You just need to pay 1 month rent as a deposit. So that's what I did. And then also when we moved from that apartment, I also had to use another apartment locator. She knew of a place that would work with my situation also. So apartment locators, they have the information because as a prior real estate agent, they have systems that give them different properties and the requirements. So for an example, when I was a real estate agent and I was specializing in apartment locating, I had systems that would tell me if an apartment would accept a broken lease and the amount of time frame that had to have went by since that broken lease before they will accept an applicant. Or an eviction, or, if they need to make 2 times, 3 times the rent, or what type of specials were going on. So they have different softwares that have those data points and that information that we as, the public cannot see. So apartment locators are a great choice if you're looking to relocate and you have issues such as evictions and broken leases and bad credit. Many times they've helped previous applicants locate apartments with the same situation that you have. So they already have a relationship with those properties and they can get you in and tell you the requirements that you would not know if you did not work with an apartment locator. So I hope that answered your question. So I'm just looking for the second question on the YouTube channel. The question was, hi, can you talk about what support you had when you relocated as far as babysitters and childcare in a new state since you didn't have any family nearby? So yes, I can talk about that. I talked about that in a lot of my previous relocation videos. But when I relocated, it was just me and my then 8-year-old son. We didn't have any family. We didn't have any friends. I didn't know anybody here. And at the time, he was 8. So I worked at home, so I didn't need any childcare during the day or during the weekends. But I did have a part-time job working at Amazon overnight. So what I'm about to say, disclaimer, I do not want any of you to do this. I'm just talking about it. I'm just sharing my journey and what I did when I relocated. I believe that my son is as mature as he is now because when he was younger, so when he was 8 before we moved, I was living in an apartment complex with my family. So they lived literally up the driveway. So they could walk to my apartment and I could walk to theirs. And I picked up a second job. It was an overnight job at a Circle K. Because my family was literally a minute away, I would just let my son go to sleep and I would go to work overnight. So he would stay at home by himself. And I was comfortable with that because I had family literally 1 minute up the street. I went to work from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And when I went to work, he would sleep because he had school the next morning, which I would get off work and I would, go home. And I worked literally 4 minutes away. So I would get off work and I would go home, wake him up and get him ready for school. So this went on for about 6 months before I decided to move. So when I decided to move, I was working overnight and I was working 6 hours at Amazon also. So I would, he would be asleep, same situation. He would be asleep before I go. I had a camera inside the apartment. And also, he had his cell phone. So I just kind of felt comfortable that he would be okay. So while I was at work, I just checked the camera. And I got off and I got him up and I got him ready for school. And this was about 3 nights out the week. But like I said, I'm not encouraging you to do this at all, period. Because if something happened, I don't want to take the blame for that. So if you have small kids and you're relocating, you're going to need childcare. So the only options are you're going to have to pay for childcare. So you're going to have the money saved for childcare so that you can get a reputable babysitter to care for your children or your child while you're at work. Or you're just going to have to be able to work from home full time so that you can care for your kids. There's really no magic answer or no solution. My journey was a little different because I kind of knew my child. I knew my son. I knew that he was mature. I knew that, I believed that God would protect him and keep him and watch over him as he slept, which God did. But like I said, also, I only worked 6 hours, and I also had a camera on him the entire time I was at work so that I could, peep in and check on him. But I don't advise that to anybody because, so many things are happening these days with the kids being left at home. I know they say it depends on the maturity of the child, but I can't sit here and advise you to do what I did. I'm going to tell you to make sure that you have money for childcare, a reputable babysitter, or you're going to need to just be able to work at home full time. So that until, you get that support. When you get there, go out and network. And we talked about that before. You have to go out and network with other, like-minded women. preferably with kids the same ages as your kids, so maybe y'all could take turns babysitting. Maybe you want to go out and socialize one weekend, so you have her kids over. She want to go out and socialize one weekend, so you have her kids, and vice versa. But there's no magic answer to that. You either got to pay for childcare or you have to care for your children yourself. And that's what makes it so difficult to relocate as a single mom, is because we usually have young kids, and we're moving or relocating to a place where we don't have that support system that we have in our hometown. But it can be done, but it's just going to take money. It's going to take money for childcare, or it's going to, take you rearranging your lifestyle so that you can, make that change and be there to care for your kids. It's easier with older kids because they can usually, stay and care for themselves depending on their maturity level. But, no one know our kids like we know our kids. So, yeah, that's really how I did it. If anyone did it differently, or if anyone have any other solutions or strategies, then drop them in the comments. But yeah, and if y'all have any other questions regarding the relocation journey, drop it in the comments and I'll answer it in another video. But relocating, then now is the best time to fix your credit. Now is the best time to start an online business so that you could be at home with your kids and you don't have to worry about childcare. So if you want more information on that, as always, check the comments. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all in my next video.